Hey Virgos, welcome to your Imposter Syndrome reading, where we'll take a peek at how you're moving through life and why you might feel like you're not worthy of some things. So let's jump right on in and start by pulling some oracle cards to see what energy is surrounding you. And the first card that we have out for you is Mott, Fairness. The situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. Let's pull another and see what else is happening for my Virgo collective. What other energies are surrounding my Virgo collective for their imposter syndrome reading? And we have Drum, Dream and Journey. All right, so for my Virgos out there, it feels as though you have, I think, seemingly been dealt a pretty bad hand over, and this, I feel like this actually spans your lifetime, that there have been situations that have come up where you're just sort of like, what the entire hell is happening right now? Like, how did it even end up like this? And I feel like for a lot of you, this has to do with your relationships, whether it's with friends, family, a romantic partner, with your job. And it's kind of like, I have no explanation for how this happened or why this happened, but what I do know is that I got the very shortest end of all of these sticks. And somehow you have sort of trudged your way through, you have learned, you have grown over time. And I almost feel as though now you're just starting to come into yourself. You're just starting to come into this awareness where you are able again to dream. You're thinking about the possibilities that exist out there. And even through all of your hardships, as you see things unfolding in front of you, there's this sense of, is this going to be okay? Do I actually deserve this? Like what? There's so many what ifs that's creating this sort of doubt inside of you that it's almost hard, I think, sometimes to take those big and bold steps forward that you might need to do. And so it feels very much, Virgo, like there's always this sort of shadow that's looming over you. And it's like, how do I get rid of this? How do I get rid of this? No matter what good happens to you, there's this sense of waiting for the other shoe to drop. And so let's see how you can get out of that energy. So let's take a peek first at why you feel like an imposter. We have the Two of Cups in reverse. So with this Two of Cups, and I'm not sort of just bucketing this in with romantic. This is really about not being able to see eye to eye with other people, right? And so it feels like you question whenever someone has faith in you. Whenever there's an opportunity that comes up, it's hard for you to see from the other person's perspective why you were chosen to get that opportunity. It's almost like, huh, me? Why? Like, why would you pick me? There's a ton of other people out there who's better than I am. And it's interesting because it feels like you can't see yourself through other people's eyes. You can't see how amazing you are. And we have that clarified by the Page of Pentacles in reverse. There's this feeling, Virgo, that you don't have a whole lot to offer. And I don't understand why that is, because what's coming through is the energy of someone who's very calm, someone who is probably a little bit more wise beyond their years. But it's almost this sense of, I don't really have much to offer. So why are you calling me? Why are you asking me? Why are you reaching out to me? There are plenty of other people in this world. And so I feel like this is a little bit of maybe PTSD, a little bit of leftover trauma from past experiences, but it's not true. It's a false narrative. So something about yourself that you need to acknowledge. We have the Knight of Swords. Now, Virgo, the Knight of Swords is a very, very thoughtful energy. Sometimes they rush into things because they're very fast moving. Sometimes they rush into things without 100% thinking them through. or if they do, they sort of ignore the warning signs. Like they have a lot of faith and confidence in themselves. And I think that at once upon a time, Virgo, that there were situations that you sort of jumped into where even if they weren't going right, even if they didn't feel particularly okay to you, you were in a place of like, that's okay, I can fix it. I'm good. I got this. Let's just keep going. And it's like, Virgo, you can't fix everything and you can't fix everybody. We have the King of Pentacles to clarify in reverse. So the King of Pentacles is someone who is incredibly grounded. They're very stable. They tend to be abundant in their own lives. And so I think that you, Virgo, attached yourself to people who weren't necessarily stable. And it wasn't because you specifically asked for a challenge. I think it's just in your character to want to help people, to want to help build them up. Even if these people are not necessarily worthy of your time or your effort or your energy, it's like you keep going. It's like, nope, we're going to get this right. We're going to fix you. We are going to fix you. And everybody is not ready to be fixed. So Virgo, I think that, you sort of need to tap into why you want to be, for lack of better phrasing, this is what popped in my head, Captain Save-A-Ho. Why is it that you want to be in that role? I think it goes back to your loving nature. It goes back to your generous nature. But what are you doing to yourself in this process? Because it seems as though you are giving a lot more than you have received. Now, how you can stop this sort of process and comparing yourself to others or feeling like you're not worthy, we have the 10 of Swords in reverse. It's time to heal, Virgo. Now, if people have betrayed you, if they've disrespected you, you don't necessarily have to forgive them, but you have to find a way to heal from it so that that's not baggage that you're carrying around with you for the remainder of your life. It's time for you to move forward. And we have that 7 of Cups. Understanding that you have a lot of gifts and that your loving nature is kind of what put you in this place in the first place. You do have options. You do have different paths that you can take. And so getting out of this sort of hamster wheel is going to involve you exploring your options, what's out there in the world for you, things that are better suited to you. Because here you are with all of your cups, just sort of giving them away and looking at what you're getting back. It's like, is it reciprocal? Is it fair? Is it balanced? And I don't think that it is. And the overall energy that's surrounding you is fairness. It's having that equal give and take. Now, an action that you can take to sort of help you feel like less of an imposter, that you have to keep doing this for other people, we have the Queen of Wands. So this is a very passionate, fiery energy. It's a pretty mature energy, but this is someone who keeps a little bit of that energy in reserve for themselves. They don't necessarily give it all away. And to be perfectly clear, the Queen of Wands is someone who has set their boundaries also pretty well. Like they're not going to just give their energy to any and everybody that's around them. We have that clarified by the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. There is an element of discernment about who it is that you work with, who it is that you partner up with. So the 3 of Pentacles is really about community. It's about partnership. It's about people coming together to work towards a common goal. Well, if you're pouring all of your energy into someone who doesn't have the same goal as you, like if it's a hoe that doesn't want to be saved, there's only but so much you can do before you figure out that you're wasting your time and energy. So getting out of that space, being more discerning, is going to be important for your journey going forward. Now, a message that you need to hear from Spirit, we have the Empress in reverse. So the Empress is all about nurturing energy. She's ready to birth something new. She's giving new life to somebody or something. With the Empress in reverse, you don't have to be that person for everyone, Virgo. You do not have to give everybody life if they're not returning the favor. You really don't have to. And we have that clarified by the Seven of Swords. So making sure that you sort of reject people's manipulation, people's sneakiness, making sure that you do things according to what's right for you is going to be so valuable for your journey going forward. Because if given the opportunity, I think that you have a lot of people around you that will take, and they will keep taking until you put a stop to it. So making sure that you have your boundaries in place, making sure that you don't expend energy that isn't deserved on the other side is going to be important for your next steps. Now, why you're deserving of a good life, of everything that you have, of good friends, we have the King of Wands in reverse. And so I think that you have gotten to a place where your emotions are fairly tempered, right? So we have the Queen of Wands for you that came out, and how you can sort of break out of this cycle. That's a much more modulated energy than the King of Wands, who can sort of take this fire, this passion to the next level, and not necessarily in a good way. So I think that you've gotten very much in control of your feelings, of where you're, starting to get to the point where you're more in control and acknowledging where it is that your energy goes. That's progress. That's a huge step forward. So you should be proud of yourself for that. And we also have the Sun to clarify. So the Sun is about happiness. It's about purity. It's about innocence. And I think that, Virgo, you have learned enough lessons that it's almost as if you're starting from scratch, where you're starting to see the world through new eyes, and you're willing to take new approaches, especially when it comes to dealing with other people. So, this is a bit of a clean slate for you, where you're able to set your own boundaries. You're able to interact with people in the way that you want to, instead of trying to force them to be better people. It's like you're going to run your own race. And if they catch up, then absolutely wonderful. If they don't, it's been real. Take good care. Be blessed. All of the above. So I think that you are starting to reevaluate what your engagement with other people looks like. You're not going to force them to be who they're not ready to be, and you're not going to stress yourself trying to do it. So good on you, Virgo. That's what I got for you guys. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.